Good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to BJC Mitzvah Day number 160, part 2. Using the Sefer Chinuch, a mitzvah that keeps your soul on its way. And we're continuing with the mitzvah entitled The Obligation Regarding the Tumah of Foods, the Impurity of Foods. Here we go. Among the laws of the mitzvah is that which the sages of blessed memory said in Sifra, which is again a Medrash to Vayikra, the third book, Leviticus, that the statement in the Torah of any food that is eaten, which refers to the foods to which the rules of impurity apply, means that it is eaten by humans. Accordingly, the sages of blessed memory stated in Mishnah Taharos that any food that is not designed or designated for human consumption is not susceptible to Tumah at all. The Chinuch states another requirement for susceptibility of foods to Tumah. The sages have also set forth in Chulin, which is a Gemara, that an edible item is not considered food regarding the matter of susceptibility to Tumah until it is uprooted from the soil. However, as long as it is attached to the ground, if only by a small root through which it can live, it is not considered food regarding its susceptibility to Tumah. And even if all the sources of Tumah touched it, including the most severe, it is still tahor, ritually pure. Isn't that interesting? The Chinuch concludes his discussion of the laws of the mitzvah with an additional requirement, which he will proceed to discuss at length. This is a requirement known as heksher, preparation, namely the foods are not susceptible to Tumah until they have been wetted by a liquid. Also, no food in the world is considered a completed food with regard to susceptibility to Tumah until water has fallen on it after it has been uprooted from the soil, as Scripture writes regarding food susceptibility to Tumah, of any food that is eaten upon which water comes, etc. The Chinuch suggests a reason for the requirement of heksher. Now, although the sages have stated in Chulin that this requirement of heksher is a biblical decree as derived from the phrase upon which water comes, it is possible to attach some rationale to it, based on what comes to mind at first thought, and say as follows. The reason for this rule is that with regard to food items that undergo processing, the Torah generally does not consider something ready to be subject to its regulations that pertain to that type of item until the time that its production is completed. All right, we'll have to continue with this beautiful mitzvah, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you for listening to Sponsor Feature Mitzvah 36, 100 for the gold. Have a wonderful day.